Hello, hello, you beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Michelle. We talk all things life, love, spirituality, law of attraction, and all of that juicy goodness. I'm an intuitive reader, a manifesting coach, a Reiki practitioner, and a life path guide and mentor here to help you along your awakening journey so that you can co-create the life of your dreams. And if you're new to my channel, like, subscribe, connect your energy to mine. We are going to pull some cards today for our midweek reading. We just had a new moon. Fun fact, I just got my hair cut. My mentor taught me that when we trim our hair around a new moon, it is the dark phase. The full moon is the bright phase, right? The dark phase is when your hair is prime for growing. It's when you plant the seeds. So we want to cut our hair around new moons, and we do not want to cut our hair around full moons. So a little fun fact, I just got my hair cut. The girl that did my hair, shout out to you. If you're watching, Christina, you are amazing. Fun fact, she loves to do blowouts. And before I went to see her to get my hair cut, I had ironically watched a podcast on YouTube about a woman who created $1 million business doing the dry bar. She created the dry bar. And so my guides had me watch that. And then I went to speak to her randomly. Like my guides totally brought me this haircut today out of nowhere. I was not planning on doing it. And I called and I asked my guides, I was like, if it's meant to be, let it happen within the hour. And they had an appointment within like 20 minutes. I was like, yes. And she's this awesome young girl. She's been doing hair for 7 years. And she literally is blowing out my hair, going, I just love blowing out hair. It's like my favorite part. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I just watched a whole podcast about a woman who created $1 million business doing this. So our guides and angels are always moving us to certain people. So I encouraged her. I gave her my business card and I was like, if you need help in anything that you're doing, let me know. But she was like, oh my God, my roommates are going to love you. They're going to love this story. And I like read her for a little bit. I got a message that she was going to meet somebody that's 2 years older or younger than her. It was just an awesome connection. So I don't know why I shared that. I think, I was talking about the haircuts around the new moon, and you don't want to get your hair cut around the full moon. So my mentor just knows all these random facts. And I'm like, I feel stupid because I'm like, how does she know so much? But now I know that. So I'm adding to my toolkit. So we're going to start off this reading. I have my reds, my Organifi reds. I also got my nails done today. Went with a cute little purple. I'm doing a photo shoot on Friday with my friend Carly and her sister Sam. They're going to jazz me up and we're going to get some awesome photos for my website and just for more marketing and stuff. It's been a while since I've done that. So we're doing all the things this week to elevate and to grow ourselves. So that is the message with this new moon. We're becoming new and we're starting to take action on the things that just feel good. We all of a sudden are getting these contacts. We're being drawn to certain people. We're being drawn to get our hair cut and have an amazing connection with the person that's cutting our hair. These things are happening. And I totally just spit, which is like communication. Communication is happening this week. I just felt that urge to like speak really fast. And for the second half of this week, pay attention to communication coming in, connecting with new people, knowing that when you show up and you give and you offer a tip or you offer a service for free. Like I pretty much read her for free for a little bit while she was cutting my hair, and it felt so good to give that to her. And she's been through a lot in her life. So shout out to her for being a badass and still pushing through. But when we give from our heart, when we give with a whole pure cup of love, people feel that. Like hopefully she left feeling, hopefully after I left, she felt like invigorated to finish out her workday and to go home and talk to her roommates. And those little interactions change people's lives. I know when I was going through my grief, when people would be kind to me, or if they would, I don't know, just open a door for me or pay for my coffee or something. I wasn't really drinking coffee back then, but when people would just do things for me, I was just like, oh, they have no idea that I'm suffering right now. This just changed my whole day. So this is your reminder to give. Communication is coming in, new people are coming in, and to take action when you feel the inspiration. So I felt the inspiration to call to get my hair cut. It lined up. It was within 20 minutes. The lady's like, can you be here in 20 minutes? I was like, absolutely. I was exactly 20 minutes away. I arrived the minute before the cut. So Cheers to alignment this week. We are in alignment. We're in the flow. So we're going to start with some Micah magic. I just heard somebody totally change their routine this week. Who out there completely changed your routine? Comment below and let me know if you did something different. Like maybe you started to wake up earlier, or maybe you slept in. Manifest more for yourself. They need space. Okay, when I saw that they need space, the first thing that I heard was distraction. So when people are in separation from their counterpart, if we're talking about soulmates and twin flames, and there's so many different dynamics of soul tribe out there, but when people are in separation, they need space to get their shit together. And a lot of times the person that's running from the partnership, they don't want to work on themselves. It's not attractive in their eyes to have to grow, because that means they're going to have to get uncomfortable. They're going to have to upset people in their life. Maybe they're scared. They don't know what they're capable of. So instead, they'll just go around and distract themselves with these jobs and, vices, addictions, women, men. They just go to the first thing that will give them attention. And that's just their ego. It is the 3D ego that is just looking to be fed all day long. So when somebody needs space, it's because they haven't gone through an ego degradation yet, which is like an ego death. The ego has to completely break down for somebody to surrender and say, okay, I am here in this body on this planet. I guess I'm here for a reason. I'm not going to listen to my ego anymore. And I think it's time I level up. So we have to move out of the ego. And when that happens, they have to go through a dark night of the soul, and then we're in separation, and they need space during that time. And I also just heard for somebody else, when they want to manifest more for themselves, go to your cocoon, pull your energy back. Don't be around certain people, because your energy needs to be pristine. And if you haven't been following me for a while, I created a course called Understanding Energy and How to Cleanse Your Aura Properly. Everything's in the description box below. It's on my website now. But I teach you my 10 cleansing methods that are basically helping you show up in the world in a better vibration. And when you show up in a better vibration, guess what happens? You can manifest easier. Everything is your energy, your feelings, your emotions, your frequency, and your vibration. That's how the universe operates. When we attune ourselves to that frequency that is of love and compassion and feeling good, that's when things start to fall in. I also just got a really quick message that, how I always talk about darkest before dawn? Like, you're like, I don't know what's going to happen. I feel like my life is crumbling. There's no manifestations coming. Michelle, why? All of my clients say, Michelle, why is it always darkest before dawn? Why do we experience the breakdown before the breakthrough? And I forget what book I was listening to, but they were talking about how you need to be in the dark so you can learn how to see in the dark. So somebody said in the book, like, how long do I have to be in the dark before the dawn comes? And they said, until you can see in the dark. And the way we see in the dark is we offer every burden, every worry, and we say, this is God. God, please take this burden from me. I trust you. I know you have the right finances for me. I know you have the right person. You have the right job. I am not going to grab the wheel and try to drive the car. I'm going to relax and know that everything is as it's meant to be. And I'm in the dark to learn to surrender and to trust that you're going to bring me what I need when I need it. Okay, so that was a really beautiful message. It's darkest before dawn. Things always break down and get worse because you're meant to find trust and faith to see through the darkness. And I just saw the tiger card. I don't have any of my animal decks. Ooh, I do. I have an animal book. So let's pull a card real fast, or a page. Stephen Farmer, Pocket Guide to Spirit Animals. I just saw the tiger, and the tiger's all about seeing through the darkness. It's divine feminine energy. Oh my gosh, we got a frog. Okay, so on my drive home from getting my haircut, I was asking my guides if I should take a second vacation. I'm going to Florida soon, and I wanted to go to Texas. And I was like, guides, can you please bring me a lead? Bring me a breadcrumb to let me know if I should take this vacation. Because I was looking at flights today. My Florida flight was like $59. Texas flights are $700. So I was like, maybe I should be going. But I was like, you know what? Let me offer it up because God pays my bills. God pays my way. And I was like, all right, universe, if I'm supposed to go to Texas, send me a lead. And I pull up next to this car, like literally like 30 minutes later, and there's a Jeep with a wheel, a spare tire on the back of the Jeep, and the cover of the wheel was a frog. And my symbol for vacation is the frog card because it's saying you're overworked, you need to jump back in the water, and you need to play. So let's see what this frog card says. You guys, if you want to screenshot before I read. I have no idea what this book interprets it as, but it says, do a physical cleanse to detoxify your body. Go buy my course. This is the frog plugging my course for me. Thank you, Spirit. Do an emotional cleanse by letting yourself really feel your emotions and cry as much as you need to in order to clear and release any emotional toxicity. Singing or chanting out loud will help you feel more balanced, at peace, and connected to the divine. You're entering a time of plenty and abundance. Yes! This is the start of a slow and steady transformational process for you, a movement from an old life to a new one. If you hear a frog during the daytime, it will rain very soon. Interesting. I didn't know that. Really cool message. Screenshot it. Don't get my face. And you know what's even crazier? This picture of this frog, seeing his feet, this is exactly how it looked, except for this hand was like kind of out on the back of that Jeep that I saw. So I think my guides and angels knew that I was going to do this reading after my haircut, which I was not planning on doing. So I think that message is for somebody out there that abundance is coming. Take the vacation and do an emotional cleanse. Allow yourself to purge any kind of emotions or feelings that you've been having. Take space to do this healing before your manifestation drops in. And I only use my Micah Magic deck. Well, I try to use it in every reading, but I try to use it because it's a manifestation deck. I created it to help people who are manifesting. So if you would like to purchase this deck, it is on my website. Everything, again, description box below. It's less than $33, a little less, 100 cards. So let's get another message. Well, vacation. Before a lot of money comes in, normally your vibration needs to be chill. There has to be a lull in your day, in your week, in your month. You have to take a break. Okay, money is definitely coming in because now we're getting a message to make a plan to save and to connect to spirit. When I created, I channeled all of these cards, but when I channeled this card, it was with the intention to remind you that when you make an energetic plan to save money, you feel abundant. You're like, yes, I feel I can see my bank account growing. I just made a plan to pay this off, and it changes and it shifts your vibration. And then when you connect to spirit, you're saying, God is my source. God is my unlimited supply. I don't need to worry about this debt. I don't need to worry about this bill or the extra income that I would like to take this trip. God is my supply. And you ask that infinite abundance to enter your life. And you renounce all lack. You say, I renounce all lack. I am abundant. I am prosperity. I am wealth. I am making a plan to have more in my life. And you connect back to spirit. So when you're seeing 333, spirit is saying, money is coming. Take a little rest and ask for more. Do not settle. I can't believe we got the frog card or the frog. I always say card. But the frog page. Okay, now we're going to use my purple angel deck. It's upside down. This is an abundance deck. First card that flipped, go for it. Book the trip. Your prayers and positive expectations have been heard and answered. We've been working with you on the situation since its genesis, and we will continue to watch over you and everyone involved. Stay on your present path, as it will take you very far indeed. So the unicorn is spirit, is the universe. It has you. You're literally on its back, and it's going to take you where you're meant to go. Remember, it's darkest before dawn because you're meant to see through that darkness. You're meant to ask for help. You're meant to offer it up. Maybe you learn something new. My one friend texted me this morning and she's like, I'm getting low on funds. I need the universe to show up and bring me some money. And I sent her a book. It's Florence Scovel Shinn's book, The Game of Life and How to Play It. I highly recommend. Go find it on YouTube. You can listen to the whole book. I think that's actually where I heard The Darkest Before Dawn. I listened to two books at the same time and I couldn't remember which one it was, but I sent it to my friend to listen to that book because she shares story after story back in the 40s. In 1942 or 43, I think, or is when she wrote these stories or when these stories were happening. But it was client after client that she would treat, and she would help them overcome their mind and get them to play the game of life, to get them to surrender. And the book is incredible. It's just literally a book of magic. And I think I'm actually going to create a video on all of her stories that she shares in that book. And I'm just going to condense it and share it here because I think more people need to hear what's possible. Sometimes we don't know how the universe does things and moves things for other people because they don't talk about it. And I love success stories. I love hearing how the universe shows up at the 11th hour. And the reason why it shows up, and it's always darkest before dawn, like right when you think nothing is going to come, you need the money by 2 p.m. and all of a sudden it arrives at 10 a.m. It's because at that stage you've given up. You're like, nope, I'm done. This sucks. I'm screwed. Nothing's going to come. And you've given up. You've stopped thinking about it. And that's when it drops in. So try to get to that stage before the 11th hour. Try to put your energy in the give up phase and just say, God is my supply. I'm not going to worry about this. I see through the darkness. I'm not going to let this bring on fear, worry, or anxiety. I know that I'm taken care of. Okay, let's get some Angel Wisdom Tarot and then we'll call it a day. All right, Angel Wisdom Tarot. Let's see. Ooh, we have a spiritual teacher, a wise counselor, unity with a spiritually minded community. Ask the divine for help and trust the answers will come. Compare traditional methods with new ideas to see which is best for you. To me, this means go listen to that book. We have to listen to how other people have done it in the past, how our ancestors have done it. You know, they've lived life before us. They were teaching about this magic back then. It still exists now. If not, it's more intense now. So we have to lean on these books and these resources and these people to teach us how to play the game of life. All right, final card. My legs are falling asleep. Final card. Well, hello. Oh, we have justice. Somebody's getting their justice. Oh, yeah, I definitely can't feel my legs. Okay, be impartial and objective. Stand up for what you believe. Try to see all sides of a situation. You will win if your position is one of integrity. Okay, this reminds me of another part of her book where she talks about if somebody has hurt you, bless them and move on. If you are still harboring hatred and anger and pain towards these people that might have hurt you, you are then telling the universe that you want more pain. We don't want to do that. We do not want more pain. So we want to bless them and move on and say, thank you for that lesson. Thank you for teaching me what not to do. Thank you for showing me that I attracted that situation for healing and for growth. And I'd like something different now. So if you want a different result, you have to be different. So you bless it and you move on. When the anger surfaces, you say, let me get this out. Let me go up in my car for a drive and let me scream on the top of my lungs. Let me be like the frog and do an emotional purge. Allow me to release this anger, frustration, whatever it is. Scream it out and then bless it and move on. All right. Super important message there. Somebody's harboring some anger. All right, lovies, hold on one second. My door. All right, sorry, I don't know if you guys heard that, but my door knocked, which could have been a total sign from the universe. But when we bless a situation and move on, we're sending love to those people. And guess what happens? When we send love, it almost kind of like makes them forget about us. When we send hatred to somebody and icky feelings, it makes them think about us even more. There's something about the vibration of love when you send it like a Care Bear, you're sending this like beam of love to somebody else. It almost makes them like kind of like feel uncomfortable because they're not used to receiving love and they stop thinking about you. They're no longer feeling that energy. They're actually not drawn to you. They're kind of like neutral and they don't feel anything. But when you send anger and hatred and you just have these thoughts that you're pissed off that they hurt you, they end up thinking about you more. So you do not want to be doing that because you want to free up your own nervous system. You want to purge the energy. And what I wanted to say to one of my friends recently, where she was harboring so much anger about her mom, and I just wanted to say, bless it and move on. You can't control people. We can just literally see that they live in their own world. We live in our own world, and we have to respect other people's worlds. We don't know where they come from. We don't know what their experience is. They live in their mind and they see life through a certain lens. So if somebody's doing something that bothers us, that's our world. That's not their world. Okay. So if it's affecting you, it's your world. If you're observing somebody else doing something and you don't like what they're doing, that's you. But whatever they're doing, we just have to let it be and respect it. We don't have to embrace it and adopt it and do it the same. We just respect them, let them do their thing. They have their own experiences. They have their own karma that they're going to have to clean up later. As I burp, for those of you that are new to my channel, when I burp, it's a sign that it's something we need to hear, and I'm moving a lot of energy. So people, when we do certain things, we're opening up a karmic loop. If we throw gum on the ground, if we don't throw trash out, that's a karmic loop that is then going to come back to us. So when we are not being good and honoring ourselves and other people and the planet, it comes back to bite us. So we need to be good people wherever we go. And that's what justice is. It's kind of like getting your justice. And when you send love and bless the situation, you're asking for more love. You're not going to attract that same situation again because you learn the lesson. You're no longer staying in anger and resentment. You're saying, okay, I bless this. I'm different now. The old me would sit and like worry about this. I'm letting it go. And reading and listening to books will help you get there. Watching my channel, watching other channels. You have to put yourself in these energies of people who are already practicing this in their life. They're already walking through life being good people, understanding that integrity builds our life up to a point where we can co-create a really beautiful one because we're always acting in integrity. That was the final message. Act in integrity. The money will come, the job will come, the person will come. Life will flow very effortlessly, and you'll be learning the game of life, just like that book by Florence Scovel Shinn. So good. And you learn the art of, okay, if I learn how to surrender it up to God, be a good person, and never worry when things start to go sour, I pretty much have mastered my life then. Now I know how to navigate and just be in the boat and let things happen, but also take action, take a walk in faith. Final message. She talks about in that book how, you know, a woman wanted to call in a bunch of abundance. And back then, you know, they would get their money through checks in the mail. So she was walking through this like stationery shop and she found this beautiful pink letter opener. And it was like a high-end opener. And she was like, wow, that looks very like wealthy. She's like, that looks like, you know, somebody who would get a lot of big checks, they would use that to open their mail. So she took a walk in faith and she took action. She told the universe, I am somebody who receives large checks and I need something really sturdy and good to open up all of these large checks. So she bought it for herself. And a couple of weeks later, she came into a bunch of money and it came in through a check in the mail. That's why I love this book, because they talk about these little stories that can help us take action in our lives to say, I'm going to go get my hair cut. I'm going to go get my nails done. I'm going to spend money to tell the universe that I love myself and I am worthy of more. And I know that you provide for me. So I know that you're going to pay me back double. And actually, what happened to me last night was I couldn't sleep. It was like midnight. So I'm like, you know what? My guys and angels said, go for a drive. And I'm like, why am I going for a drive? At first, I took a bath and then I just wanted to be outside in the cold weather for some reason. So I bundled up, went for a drive in my Jeep. It was around 12:30 at night. Then they said, stop and buy a lottery ticket. So I bought a lottery ticket and I did a scratch off and I won $100. So I'm like, guys, you're so cool. Like they literally just got me out of bed, made me go for a drive just so that I could get $100. And I'd been calling in a little extra money. And I knew that I was being led. Like when I got in my Jeep, I was like, the universe is doing something. And on my drive, I crossed paths with 5 different deer on my drive. And it was late and I was driving slow. Obviously, I had my headlights or my high beams on in certain areas because I live around farmland. And the deer were so beautiful. They didn't run away, they were just quietly there. And I just could feel that money was coming. And it's so cool how a lot of times like that $100 could be my breadcrumb before a ton of money comes. That was another thing she mentions in the book, is that a woman was asking for a whole set of plates and dishes and like dishware, and the next week or something a woman gave her like a broken dish or something. She got offered a dish that was like slightly chipped, and she was like, this isn't my manifestation. But Florence was teaching her, no, this is birds before land. This is the glimmer to hang on because it's still coming. So my $100 could be a glimmer that more money is coming, and I'm staying open. I'm just really happy I got it. Then I took another walk in faith and got my hair cut today and did my nails and paid money for that. I tipped the girl really well because I know that I am provided for, and the universe rewards us when we give with our open, with a heart, an open heart and a full cup of love. So when we always give from that space and not like, oh, I shouldn't be doing this, or, oh, I shouldn't spend this much money, that's telling the universe you're in lack. When you give with love, you're saying, I am open to all of this abundance flow. I know I have to give to receive. So I got some last night from the universe through the lottery, and then I gave it out today. I gave a little bit out. And now I know that's going to continue my flow. So if you haven't given money out in a while, I highly recommend go spend, go tip somebody, start the flow, get it out there, because whatever you put out, you get back double. Okay. Long final message. All right, lovies, like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell. I will see you at our weekly energy reading over the weekend. I'm sending you so much love. Peace out.